Hey there guys, what is up? It's Cameron here from eSports News UK and I am here with MSR of Aston University.
What's up, man? How you doing? You good?
I'm fine, thank you. So firstly, I'd just like to ask you about your stage to get to the NUEL Live final. What was that like? What were playoffs like? What was the regular season like? What were your opponents like? Did you have really easy games or was it just a stomp the whole way through?
At the start in September, I knew we had a good roster, so it was a stomp through qualifiers until we reached our first best of three, and we didn't really prepare much for it because we thought, oh, it's been easy so far, we probably won't have to prepare. And that was like the first milestone that we found with the team because it was against UOB and they were like a really good team fight team. So when it came to that point, we actually lost that best of three, and then I said to my team, all right, we need to actually put some work in now. After that, we put work in, we practiced comms and stuff, and it came to the next split, and I think we were against Huddersfield White. We had a best of three against them, and because we did our practice, we won that one, so we came first after that. Then there was a Christmas break, and not many people played, etc. And then we had like a huge slump. It wasn't in the NUEL matches, it was like we went to rank 5 solo queue and we kept losing, we were like, what's going on? So I just said to my team, everyone go solo, get our mechanics back to how they were before Christmas, and then we can start practicing as 5, otherwise there's no point if we're all like mechanically like lackluster. And then after that happened, I decided that we needed a roster change. So the top player, he didn't really come to practice too much and etc. And he was pretty distant from the team. He wasn't like integrated as much. And I knew Andy from last year. He played in NUEL last year as a mid laner. And I seen he was on solo queue and he was playing support a lot. So I just asked him, Andy, would you like to play support? Because I knew Matty was a really good, competent top laner. So we moved Andy into support and put Matty in the top lane. And then after that, it was a pretty good roster, but we still hadn't gelled fully. So when it came to the first week in NUEL, we went 1-2, I think. Even though we were winning the early game like usual, we didn't have the synergy to push it that extra far, like the extra bit to close out the game. But then after that, we practiced, and then it came to this, and then we started beating people again how we were in the old days, and then we were just like, that's it, straight to the finals.
So speaking about NUEL Live in general, what's it like being here? What's it like being on the stage? How do you feel to finally like take being from in your bedroom onto a stage? What does it feel like to you?
It's pretty exhilarating, to be honest.
Did the nerves get to you?
I'm usually really good with nerves, but then when I got on stage and in the first game, I wasn't playing as aggressive as I usually do. Like the first 10 minutes, I slowed down the aggression. Even though it was an Ezreal Trundle lane, I could have harassed them a lot more than I actually did. And then I realised when I was telling Andy, I was like, yo, we should have killed these guys like twice overnight by now. I'm just being a bit passive. But then in the second game, I got my confidence back a bit. Even though we lost, I put more emphasis in my laning phase, and we pushed them out the lane quite easily in that matchup. Then after that, it just like an uphill.
So you mentioned the second game there. In the second game, you won the first one. You looked really, really strong coming into the second one. Yeah. You were seven kills up, a couple of towers ahead, and then you had that Baron fight, and it sort of went downhill from that. You know, what was it like in game? How did you try and come back as a team from that? How was it like? What was it like in game as well? Like, because obviously losing that Baron, losing so significantly, it's got to knock your confidence a little bit.
In solo queue, this happened to us quite a few times where we'd throw out Baron, like we'd get a huge lead and it'd have like a Ziggs or a Lux comp where we can't break through the base without taking the Baron, and we get fidgety fingers, and then we're like, oh shit, we need to get this Baron in order to break the base. And then once that Baron happened and it got stolen, I knew like there's two ways it can go. We can either be pessimistic or we can just say, like, I could tell my team's heads were going down. I was like, it's only a mistake, we know it's going to happen, we know how to counter this. So that's why in the third game we banned out the Lux so that they couldn't take the anti-siege comp away, because literally Lux would just clear the waves, and the only thing he can do to siege Lux is get Baron. So once we took that away from them, I think we were Gucci. So in game I was just like, lads, all right, we lost the Baron, it's not the end of the world. As long as in the next game we do the pick ban phase correctly, we maintain the lead so we get in early like we did in this game, we'll snowball it out of control, and it seemed to work, the little petrol.
So speaking about you personally, there's been a lot of hype around you lately. Yeah. You know, you really, like, compared to the other team, your team's more well known. You're sort of the face of the team. Was there any extra pressure on you because of that and all the hype recently?
I kind of like it still.
You say you feed off it as well?
Yeah, I'm quite an emotional player, so any good vibes that I get, I can translate it into the game. And I can tilt quite easily, and my tilt's weird. I won't play bad, I'll just not make the plays like I normally do. and being like the macro shot caller for the team, if I'm not making those plays, everyone else seems to just like dwindle off and then the game stalls out. And that was one of the things that was an issue before, until I said to Josh, you can step up to be like the micro shot caller kind of things, like Barons and stuff. Because if I fell behind or I made a misplay, myself, I'd start doing like stuff that I wouldn't normally do, or not make the plays I'd normally do, or we miss out on kills. Because usually most of our kills are, I see an opportunity, I tell my team just like go in ham and just take this guy out, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your win. Looking forward to seeing more from you in the future. What's the next step for you? Are you going to go on to maybe go for an ESL esports team yourself, or are you looking further in the future, Challenger League, LCS? What's your goals for the future?
My goal is, I've got to, obviously I'm starting uni, so I'm going to get my May exams out the way. In the summer, I'm just going to grind solo queue. If I can reach Master Tier / Challenger, I peaked at Diamond 2 like the other week. So if I can reach that Master Challenger, then I'll say to myself, okay, now I'm ready for the ESL League. Because there's still things for myself that I'm not happy with that I do in game, and that's the difference between like High Diamond and Master and Challenger. But once that's brushed out of my game, then I think I'll be ready. So we'll see in September how after the summer holidays my performance has improved or not.
So who's keeping the trophy, you or is the university taking it?
I think I'm just going to put it in the university cabinet. I think that's probably the best bet, because then everyone gets to take home the victory then.
So we spoke a little bit earlier about the Vayne pick.
Yeah.
You've seen the type of comments they were coming. You said earlier that the games they weren't going too fast, but the first 3 games we saw there was a lot of action. Where more in the 4th game you sort of slowed down because you were that one away from winning.
Yeah.
What picking Vayne up in the 3rd and 4th game enabled you to win? Because it seems you do so much work on Vayne with your team around Vayne.
I've always been a Vayne main, and my team hate me picking it because obviously it's Vayne spotting. So I said to them, if she's going to keep taking the Shyvana in the jungle, if they're going to keep taking a tanky top laner, Vayne's the best ADC mid-game, early game to handle them. And bot lane, I always felt that I was going to beat them out because they were being super passive. And I was always going to be pushing them to the turret. Like every game we were chipping away at that turret. So I was like, why don't I just pick my Vayne? Like, the only reason I didn't pick Vayne before is if they were playing like an aggressive bot lane that would make me struggle to farm. And if they're not going to put that pressure on me, I'll just get the Vayne pick. And as you can see, like against Shyvana and Nautilus and those kind of tanky and Sion, you can use your Q to outmaneuver them, and you just shred through the health. And I could see the Shyvana wasn't building full tank; she was building like Titanic Hydra. And Vayne's passive percentage health damage just adds salt to the wound. If you're going to build like that, you expect to get like 3-shot by the champion.
So as an ADC main myself, I would like to know if you watched the community games earlier, and what did you think of my Lucian and Savig plays?
I was practicing at the back. I saw a little bit. The only thing I noticed when everyone started screaming quadra kill, and I can't remember if it was Caitlyn.
It was Caitlyn.
Yeah, was that against you? That's unfortunate. That's the only thing I remember. I was looking over the screen. I was like, what's everyone talking about? But I'll definitely watch them back, but I'll have a look. What division are you?
I'm high silver at the moment. I was gold last season.
Okay. I'll have a look. I'll let you know. I'll give you a few tips and stuff. But yeah.
Thanks for the interview. Very nice to meet you, and good luck in the future, my friend.
Cheers, man.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you too, dude.
Cheers.